A fire that tore through an Amherst apartment complex Saturday night has left dozens of families without a place to stay. 22 News reporter Alessandra Martinez was in Amherst today and spoke with residents who are left trying to pick up the pieces.
You couldn't breathe. Everywhere you walked, that's all you would smell.
That smell of smoke was everywhere. A fire began shortly after 5 o'clock Saturday evening at the South Point Apartments in Amherst and burned for 3 hours, smoke pouring out of the windows. This was a 4-alarm fire, calling on other neighboring departments for help. The Amherst Fire Department found flames and smoke coming out of apartment number 97 in the back of this building, and as a result, 36 families have been forced out of their homes. They've slowly been able to go back inside and gather a few of their belongings. One resident told 22 News that she was in the building during the fire and was told by police to evacuate immediately. She was stunned watching the fire take over her building.
It felt rather detached. Like you couldn't actually believe it was happening even as you were watching it happen. You could actually see fire coming out of the top of the building.
Deanna's girlfriend Rebecca was at work during the fire. They've lost their food and electronics from water damage and smoke. But Rebecca feels she's lost a lot more than her belongings.
It's a bizarre feeling because this is the first place that I've really felt at home ever. So it's really upsetting to see it burn.
Other neighboring South Point residents were lucky that their homes weren't threatened by the fire. One woman has opened her door to let Deanna and Rebecca stay with her.
If it was me and I was in that situation, I would have wanted somebody to help me out. And here we're just like family.
The Pioneer Valley chapter of the American Red Cross is helping other families find temporary shelter and give them resources they need until they can go back home. In Amherst, Alessandra Martinez, 22 News.
And joining us now live from the Pioneer Valley American Red Cross is Kim Goulet. Kim is the chapter's new executive director. Kim, thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me.
Now, Kim, 36 families were left homeless. Now, when you get that call about the fire, what is the first thing that you and the Red Cross do?
We have a disaster relief team that is notified of the fire, and they mobilize their volunteers. In the first 24 hours, the goal is to be on site with water, food, and to some calming effect, hopefully, to the people that have been displaced.
And now, I know you've already started working with some of these families. Can you explain to us, how difficult has this been for them?
It's extremely traumatic. A couple of families that I worked with this morning lost absolutely everything. And to try to help explain that, everything's going to be fine. We don't know that. It's very difficult you just have to walk through the process. We have caseworkers that meet with the families individually and evaluate their needs and move them into housing or at least find them temporary lodging and resources.
And now, Kim, I know you mentioned the process. How long can that recovery process take for some of these families?
It could be anywhere from, a couple of days to months. I think when we were over with the tornado, it took months we had an emergency shelter downtown Springfield. It took months to find housing for many of the affected families.
And now, if someone wanted to help or get involved, how could they do so?
Well, it's either time or money. Time is critical. Volunteers. If we didn't have our volunteers, we wouldn't be able to be at the disasters and do what we do. So time is critical to us. And financial donations. We want to stay ahead of the disaster. Instead of being reactive, we want to be prepared. So if anybody can help with their time or a donation, we'd greatly appreciate that.
Okay, thank you, Kim, so much for joining us.
Thanks.
And right now, the cause of the fire in Amherst is still under investigation.